Welcome to the Dawg Chug. Roger, how is it going today?
It's going okay today. Our little guy's sick. The 7-year-old was sick for 2 days leading up. They've been puking all over the house. My poor wife has been trying to manage him during the day, and I come home and take him in and try to hold him, and he wants mommy, and trying to give her a little break. And then she had to cook dinner for the family, and when he's not running around the house, he's sick. So that's going on, some kind of stomach bug here. So I'm going to stay down here in the dungeon, stay the fuck away from all of that.
And you're running late, obviously, because you found another dead plumber at work today.
Yes, yeah, I did. I found another dead plumber.
Sorry, making references to previous shows. Well, your voice sounds a little hoarse, to be honest.
My wife says, she goes, "You getting sick too?" I said, "No." She goes, "You sound sick." Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel sick, but yeah, my voice is a little scratchy. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
The first residence has had a rough time lately.
Yeah,
because I think this is like how many you've had sick people in your house? How many times recently? Like 3 or 4?
What, just recently, or?
I feel like the last couple of weeks you've had some issues.
Well, they go to public school, Andy. They're petri dishes over there.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And one kid gets it, and it goes to the next kid and bring it home, and it goes through we got 4 kids. There's 6 of us here. So it just keeps going around and around. And we're not healthy until July, and they go back to school in August. So we get 1 month a fucking year where we're all healthy at once.
Well, I'm glad you're in the dungeon where you could stay safe.
Yes. How you been?
I'm good. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking, in honor of our guest, I am drinking the Guinness.
Whoa.
Yeah, we got an Irishman coming on. The Big Mick is coming on tonight, and I can't wait, man.
I'm very excited to have him on.
Big Kevin Sports. Wow. It took a little bit of bartering with him, but we got him. We reeled him in.
Usually when we do the Dawg Chug, the audience that's watching this, we feel guilty, right? Because we know this is not a very good show. But today we have a good guest on, and it's actually, you're lucky to be watching the show tonight. So
right. Count your blessings.
Well, to make sure we kick off this show in epic fashion, it is the year of Ed, and we got to bring Ed on.
I yelled at him earlier.
It's good on you. You always got to humble Ed. Got to yell at him.
Ed, I yelled at him.
What's up, Dawg Chuggers?
Little stupid sign. Good job.
Yeah.
All right. So it's the year of Ed. We're trying to develop Ed. So we've done a little bit where we ask Ed a question. He has 30 seconds to answer. We got to bring Ross on too, because Ross is going to be our third judge. So we're going to ask Ed a question, and he's going to have like less than a minute to answer. And we're going to judge him on how succinct your message is, how much we can follow the logic, and then how well spoken you are. And we actually started this bit, and you went downhill. And anytime you go downhill, we're killing it for the next week. Because you love being on camera, right, Ed? That's like your favorite thing.
I do, but are you killing the Cavs right now? Because they're going downhill.
Don't start with me, Edward.
All right.
We have to mute him again.
Yeah. I'm not going to mute you, I promise. I'll just kick you off. That's like the fun part. But the question is, you like being on air, right?
Yeah. I love me some me.
Well, we want to keep having you on air. So all you have to do is beat last week's score. If you can do that, then we're gonna continue coming back to Ed School, as we call it. Figure out. So I'm gonna get my timer ready. We're gonna ask you the question, and then we're all gonna.
Andy, before we begin, the first time I got a 77, the last time I got a 60, but I had a French judge, so I got to beat a 60 this time for Ed School to continue.
You actually had a 66 because I record these things.
Oh wow! Okay,
70% or better at his passing.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it's okay. All right.
More touch.
You're gonna get a progress report soon.
I was a public school child.
There you go.
All right, just having a tiny bit of difficulty pulling this spreadsheet up. All right, we're just
Ross. How's your cat doing, Ross?
Pretty good. She's not down here right now. Bad news.
It is. That is bad news.
She carries the chug during moments like this.
Did you see those cats in Ukraine with the female soldiers with their cats? I think they're beautiful. And go Ukraine.
All right. Thank you for that commentary. So with this question, I just want to point out last week, I think actually 2 weeks ago, why you didn't do as well is I think you're trying to get your answer in so fast that you're kind of neutering Ed. We want to hear Ed come out in your answer. We just want it to be succinct. We want it to be logical, and we want you to be well-spoken. I think you could do it. So I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to start the timer. I would say if you could get your answer about 20 to 30 seconds, that's probably going to be perfect. But if you got to go longer than that, go longer than that. Make sure there's a little bit of meat on the bone. All right? Are you ready?
Shout out to Mac, who's got my back. He says, C's get degrees. Ed would know. Laugh out loud on Twitter.
All right. Here is tonight's question. It's not actually a question. I want you to grade the President of the United States State of the Union and explain how he did. Go.
President Joe Biden's State of the Union speech last night in Washington, D.C. He finished it. He didn't fall asleep. I thought coherently his words, I mean, he didn't stutter that much, which, no, I know he has that condition, and I'm not trying to say anything, but that is a condition that he has, and I give him slack for that. But there are times that he says things that are more incoherent than what I do. I say a lot of words really quickly that mean nothing. He doesn't. He does the opposite. But I love him. He's our president, and I actually do think he did a great job actually last night. I think he addressed some things about Ukraine. I think got a little bit. He added 12 minutes in before the speech. I thought got a little discombobulated. But overall, I'm gonna give the president a B+.
All right. Okay, so first, let's say how succinct he was. On a scale from 1 to 10, we're all going to grade. I'm going to give him a 7 on that. I don't think he was very succinct at all. He spent 10 seconds just like rephrasing the question, which was kind of dopey. He went on for 45 seconds. So I'm going to give him a 7, which is still a good score. Roger?
You know what? I'm gonna give him a 7 too. He started strong. He has some humor there. It was pretty funny. You know, it was pretty good. And then he kind of fizzled off there at the end. The ending, it seems like last week the ending killed him too. So he's got to work on his ending.
I didn't fall short though. I didn't fall short like I did that.
I'm incoherent and bumbling, so I can't hold that against the president. So.
All right, Ross.
Let's make it 3 7s and go to the casino.
Yeah. Love it.
That's the Ed I love right there. Whether or not he repeated the question and went off track a little bit.
Well, I almost forgot the question, so I was just reassuring myself.
You got brownie points for being you, Ed.
All right, I've muted Ed so we can all talk this up without him interrupting us. Let's stick with Ross. How logical is this argument?
I don't think it was that logical. It seemed like it was more of his opinion than anything. Not a super logical one. Like, hey, I like Joe, so I'm gonna just go with it. 5.
All right, Roger.
I'm gonna give him a 6 just because. When is that logical? So I'm gonna give him a 6. Ed's from the heart. He's like me, and logic doesn't fucking matter. I'm gonna give him a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 on this one. I don't think he was logical at all. He didn't really make a point. He said he didn't fall asleep, which was funny, but then he didn't really go into anything Biden said, and I think he could have done a little better. All right, and then finally, what's the last category? How well spoken was he? I'll start us off, and I'm going to go with a 4. I think he could have done a lot better. Like I said, he prefaced the question, and then he made some jokes, and then he kind of just rambled on for a little bit. And then he said he gave him a B+, but I don't know why he gave him a B+. So, Roger.
Well, you swayed me there, Andy. You swayed me. I'm going to go 6 again. I'm going to go 6 again because I'm in it for the humor. He made me laugh. I'm going to give him a 6.
All right. And Catalina Manch Mixer, what say you?
Oh, man. I guess there's 2 of us here. I'm giving him a 7 just because that kind of question to not be ready for it and then answer it decently gets some points.
All right. So let's tally up the score, how he did. This is
the 3 hurt.
You got a 52 this week, Ed. 52.
52.
I'll try better. I'll try. Solid for.
So Ed, are you not doing your homework? Are you blaming the professors for not being good enough? What's your excuse? Is it drinking too much beer?
getting 3s and 4s because I think there's some Ed bias. I think people are getting sick of me. I think well, the hosts I know are getting sick of me, and that's okay. Look, my family, it happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Kelly, you look at her. Is she around? No, she's just sick of me. So it's okay. I get that. I wear off on people, but you know what? The comeback is greater than the setback. Gentlemen.
And here's the good news. All you have to do is beat a 52 now, which is probably way easier than beating a 66. So I think you're going to be able to do it. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait 2 more weeks till we bring back Ed School. But well done, Ed. Nice attempt. Sorry you failed again. But I have faith that you're going to come back strong. All right. We'll say goodbye to Ed. Thank God. And, let's introduce. This is fun. About a month ago, we introduced the Chuggo Wheel. And we're going to finally get one of our first segments from that. What was the first one?
Didn't we do the elf one? We had to do the ending.
Hands. Yes, we did do that. So we're going to bring our second segment from the Chuggo Wheel. This person had the chance to do a roast of the Dawg Chug members. And she worked very long and hard, as I understand, and we're so excited to have her come and eviscerate the Dawg Chug. So welcome once again to one of our favorite people to bring on the Dawg Chug. Jessica, how's it going tonight?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good, Jessica. Great. Good to see you.
Good so far, right?
Yeah, I think this is so far our best show we've ever had. What say you?
So far, best show.
I think it's going well. I think the scores on Ed were pretty fair. It was not one of his better arguments today. So
he's not like the biggest fan of the current president, so I thought that'd be a funny question to ask him.
It's a great question, and other than Ed's 52, the show's been really stellar at the beginning here.
Have we had too much Ed on?
I mean, not yet, I guess.
All right. Well, I think that's an invitation.
Well, how long has it been on? Like about
to bring it.
5 minutes? About 5 minutes of Ed, maybe.
So, Jessica's going to do her roast of the Dawg Chug, which includes all 4 of us. And she's actually requested that we mute Ed when she's doing Ed's material because we all agree Ed's not going to be able to not interrupt her.
Yeah.
Can I try? Can I try once and see if I can get through it without you muting me?
If you will allow, then I will. We'll let him try.
If you got to mute me, mute me. If you got to. I just want to see if I can do this because I failed.
If you can do it, you get 2 extra points on Ed School.
Fair enough.
Extra credit.
Fair enough.
I'll put my finger right over the mute button. So if he does interrupt in any way, we're just going to mute him, and then he doesn't get the 2 extra credit points.
I don't think Ed's trying to be rude. Don't think that. Ed's not trying to be rude. Ed's just being Ed. Ed likes to talk.
Right.
So
I don't want him to
so
I want you to be able to go and roast us, and maybe you hear us laughing a little bit, but I don't want anyone interrupting you to say, "Hey, that's not true," or something lame like that.
He interrupted the iconic top 10 when I was, and you just
did not go well when I shushed him. I promise that I will not shush you. I'm just going to mute you.
Nothing iconic about it.
And he shushed you. That was.
He almost walked off the show because I shushed you. All right, Jessica, would you like to begin roasting our dumb show, our dumb members of our dumb show?
Yeah.
Bring Ross on.
The floor is yours.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to start with Andy. The first one, I've got a couple for each of you. So for Andy, I wish we could remember what college you went to. OU, he only says it every episode. Remember where Andy goes at that.
Proud of my OU-ness.
Right. And he also loses his train of thought more often than Dory in Finding Nemo. Okay. And I heard from a good source, Andy's wife, that the cleaning crew is going to be quitting from all the spitting and beer can throwing he does in the basement. Now he's only going to be giving complete Homer takes, so he doesn't have to spit on the floor. And he had to put a very responsible recycling container next to his computer.
That's very true. All right.
That's more like a top 10 list, but
Yeah.
What we got here. So now we'll move on to Roger now. Roger. Luckily, none of us are in a scary basement with them, or we'd probably get beamed by an index card. And also, we don't actually hear it, but I'm pretty sure he probably has the same furnace that they have in Home Alone. I also want to say that I don't think Roger's actually hard of hearing. I think he just thinks he's really funny, so he's going to keep talking until you agree.
What? What'd you say?
Exactly. Also, when the Dawg Chug started, I don't remember, Roger was super far away from the camera, like crazy far away from the camera. I think he's actually getting like fractionally closer every week. And one day he's going to be closer to the camera than Jacob is when he's spitting facts on the Barking Browns.
Ooh,
Just like,
that was good. You pivoted to the Barking Browns. I like that.
yeah. All right, that's my Roger segment. So I'll move on to Ross. I don't know if you guys know this, but Ross is actually getting extra credit in school for his production duties on the Dawg Chug, and they're hoping it will help him get out of his shell as well as boost his computer skills. I'm also hopeful that after he finishes junior high next year, his reading out loud skills will be caught up to his age level.
Because he looks young.
Also, the last one for Ross, when his family goes out to eat, they receive 3 kid menus every time, and his wife always gets the check. Except for the one time, the old lady at the next table paid for them because she knew how hard it was to raise her children as a single mom and was paying it forward.
All right, now we're all here for it. Ed,
All right.
do not say anything. I got my finger on the mute button.
All right. So, as we all know, Ed's mouth works faster than his brain does. It's very evident in all of his but-uhs and and-uhs that litters all this talking on both podcasts. If they were eliminated from his takes, the length of his speeches would decrease by 75% at least.
That's very true.
And I want to say also, the only person who might talk more than Ed is Kelly, his wife, who likely isn't really actually much of a talker, but she had to adapt so she could survive in the household. And then Ed's kids didn't actually verbally talk and communicate until they were able to go to school because they couldn't get a word in between Ed and Kelly talking all the time.
The poor kids.
All right, so that was all. Ed, you did a good job, Ed. I'm proud of you. Proud of you.
Wow.
He gets 2
That was
points.
great.
And then I have 2 overall Dawg Chug ones.
Oh.
Dawg Chug needs to implement a minimum lighting and internet requirement for all guests to be blurry and dark images, with the exception of an intern in the witness protection program. I understood why that one was dark. That was fine. And then the last one for the Dawg Chug is, you guys really need to minimize that sock puppet interaction. There's been 3 different sock puppets on, and only, 18 episodes? And some of them had multiple appearances. So I'm a little concerned about the sock puppets on the show.
Yeah. Well,
So,
It needs
Someone on the
work.
show has a cat and sock fetish.
I'm going to therapy.
that's what I got for you guys. That's your roast.
Jessica,
All right.
that was awesome. Thank
that
you.
was amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Jessica.
Thank you.
I'm watching Kevin, and when you did the line about Ed and Kelly having to talk just as a defense mechanism, I just saw him dying, laughing hysterically. It was amazing.
Good deal. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I had fun writing it.
So thank you so much for coming on. We're actually can we borrow your time for one more little segment?
Sure.
All right. So we did introduce the Chuggies, kind of our award show for the Dawg Chug. And Ross, I'll turn it over to you because you have the next category of the Chuggies. And Jessica, you are actually going to do the honor as a super fan of the Dawg Chug of voting for the winner.
Oh, okay.
So I think we need to move. Yeah, there we go. All right.
All right, so I'm gonna play them and pause them in between each line, but I have them going in a row.
And what is the category?
This is the Best Line Award. First
line.
award we had was Best Chug. This is Best Line. Could end up being the most sought after award, so let's see what happens.
When he read it, he said, "You fucker, I spit my dinner out when I read that DM."
I'm sorry, my phone was cut out. Your dad's sending me dick pics. What's going on in my DMs? What's going on, Roger?
I know.
Ross, you are muted right now.
I didn't want to have that echo. That was a nomination for Ed for the dick pic line.
I like what Kelly was gonna say next. She's like, "I know I'm fucking wasted." I thought that was the line.
All right.
Fucking wasted.
So there you go.
Thank you.
So that's Kelly saying I'm fucking wasted. A classic.
Classic.
You're much better than us.
Well, I'm
Oh,
better
my
at knowing
goodness.
Ed, but does that make me a winner?
I'm better
was
at knowing
good.
Ed, but does that make me a winner?
We played a game where Kelly got every question right about her husband, and we pointed out how amazing their relationship is, and she said that iconic line, "I'm better for knowing Ed, but does that make me a winner?" And absolutely not, Kelly. So sorry. All right, what do we got
Ed
next?
talks so much that he cuts himself off, but it didn't happen right there.
One for
So if you know Ed, you get that one. No explanation needed.
the team. This is for you, Andy. I'm sorry.
It's for me. It's for the entire show.
Ed, go Ed. Whoa.
I can't even.
I gotta say, Ed looked like a porn star taking it in the back of his throat on that jug.
All right, the visual of that one is Ed was chugging a beer, and then Ross said that iconic line.
And here's an honorable mention. Actually, I decided to make them a nominee. Ed had a very good line promoting the Dawg Chug on the Barking Brown show with Jacob and Nick Carnes. As you all know, Ed is the producer over there.
Thank you. Can't give you a hug, but I can give you a chug.
Can't give you a hug, but I can give you a chug.
It's coming off of after a Browns loss. I was on the Barking Browns promoting my favorite show, the Dawg Chug, featuring Andy and Roger, and with producers Ross and myself. I love you guys.
Thank you,
I'm
Ed.
trying to win here. Trying to win.
Go through a McDonald's drive-through and order a fucking chicken McNugget Happy Meal without going under 125 words. I'm going to say over.
All right, in that clip, we were trying to decide if Ed would answer a question in over 125 words or under 125 words, and Roger said that he would go over because he can't go through the drive-through. Obviously, you heard the line. Amazing line, Roger. Thank you. How did Roger's top 10 list go?
I loved it.
Yeah? Is that why you drank all your Fireball? Because you were just
Well,
chugging?
wait, I had to chug to the strippers and cocaine. Like, who doesn't want to chug to that?
Yeah.
Kelly chugging the strippers and cocaine.
That's a good.
Kelly has all our best lines.
I think she's gonna win.
Yeah, she's going to win.
All right. I believe this is our last nominee.
Yeah.
It's the longest you've ever gone without drinking. Like
A year and a half.
Year and a half. When did you go a year and a half without drinking?
Between 2017 and a little bit in the 2019.
Wow. That sounds miserable.
When he read it, he said, "You fucker." Hey, for weeks, I thought about that line and would just bust out laughing. I'd be fucking driving and think about that and just start laughing. He's like, "Wow, that sounds miserable." That's got my vote. That's got my vote.
I mean, that's all Dan has in his life is drinking. And
Oh, was that Dan in the last one? I couldn't see anybody.
That's Dan in the dark. Not Dan after dark, Dan in the dark.
all right. So now you've heard all the nominees. Jessica, who is the winner for best line on the Dawg Chug?
Man, it's tough. It's between two of them for me. It's either the Kelly, but does that make me a winner? Because I remember when that one happened, that one really made me laugh pretty hard.
It was a strong line.
And then and then the chicken McNugget one, ordering a chicken McNugget meal, because that one also. I'm not saying I don't remember the other ones, but those ones I remember watching when they happened. So
Kelly.
yeah, I have to give it to Kelly.
Kelly.
Man.
Yeah, she had a lot of nominations in there too. So
Yeah, I want to give it to Kelly for that one because that was really funny.
well, you know
Well,
what?
the other one I was busy laughing. The other one I was on the show and laughing, as you saw in the clip. But the one with Kelly Kelly, I remember that. I'm pretty sure I commented on it too at some point during the show.
Well, we don't have a statue, but what we can give Ellie is Kelly is her husband. She gets to live with Ed.
Does that
A
really
member
mean
of the
she's?
Dawg Chug will go live with her, and it looks like Ed is just frozen on our screen right now. I hope he's okay.
I'm moving.
Actually,
No, he's fine. He's
we're
fine.
talking about all going to training camp.
Oh, there we go.
We're talking about going to training camp this what is it, August? So Kelly, your reward for winning is we're going to take Ed out of Columbus for a couple days, and you'll get a couple days of freedom. So congrats. We love you, Kelly. Thank you for making our show great. And Jessica, thank you so much for helping us pick a winner and for doing that epic roast. We love you, and yeah, you're the best fan that we have.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You guys are probably my favorite podcast. Don't tell me.
Thanks, Jessica.
Amazing. You have great taste because honestly, we are the 187th ranked podcast in Cleveland sports. So,
well, you're my favorite Browns podcast. It doesn't really talk about the Browns. I guess you can put it that way.
Who are the Browns?
What?
Yeah.
all right, Kelly.
They always kind of wear their gear, you know.
Everyone from the Dawg Chug, thanks you. We cannot wait to have you on again soon. So see you very shortly.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you, Jessica.
All right, now very quickly, let's move this along because we're going long. This is kind of an interesting situation. Usually, me and Roger agree on our Browns takes. We're pretty in sync, but Roger and I got into an interesting discussion lately, talking about David Njoku. What happened to Ed? We're gonna need him.
I think he's going in and out.
Okay. Hopefully we'll get him back soon. Here he is. Oh, thank God. The show is just lost without you. Anyway, Roger and I, we just weren't seeing eye to eye on should the Browns re-sign Njoku? Should we let him go in free agency because he'll be too expensive? We just couldn't decide. And I know Jessica just pointed out that we don't talk a lot of Browns on this podcast. Well, guess what, Jessica? We're going to talk Browns right now because we asked our crack producers, why don't you guys give us some points on why we should or why we shouldn't keep David Njoku so that me and Roger can settle this once and for all.
Yeah.
I know you guys prepared a bunch of like Jacob level stats and information and pros and cons. So let's dig into this. If you guys are, audience is interested in, our usual shenanigans, probably go take like a 5-minute break because we're actually going to get pretty in depth about the Browns right now. But I think this is important, so I'm proud of it.
I got PFF on my tab right here. I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, first of all, some say that it would cost maybe $10 million a season to keep David Njoku. So what do you guys have to say? Would it be worth it? Would it not be worth it? I'll turn the tables to you.
I guess I'll take the floor first. Well, I consult my GMs on Twitter for all my thoughts. I don't actually think for myself. And based on that, we're re-signing every single Browns player that we want to keep. So whatever leftover money we have, we're giving to Njoku, whether that be 30 million in cap space, 35, depends on who we cut. So I'm well over 10 million is what I'm going for.
All right, Ed.
I would not re-sign David Njoku for $10 million. Here's why. The Browns always get into COVID issues. Jimmy has them own Pilot Flying J, which are known for having the nicest bathrooms and restrooms. Every single Browns player should have their own personal restroom, and it's going to cost more than $10 million to get it done for the 53. So I'm sorry, but he's going to be a casualty because of expenses. And it's a new COVID world we live in.
Wow. You did not look like you were reading at all there. Good job.
Not at all.
I'm not reading.
Your eyes weren't following the words across your screen at all.
All right.
Those might have been pregame activities.
Fair enough. What about, his appearance?
I'll take this one first. Okay. You know what? He looks like Tarzan and he plays like Jane on Sundays. Okay. The guy looks like it. The Arnold's coming to Columbus, the Arnold Fitness Classic. And, I think he would fit in well there. But on Sundays, nah. Give me Hooper's body. I just wanted to stand up.
Ross?
I don't know if you've seen the photos that Ed's seen because the photos that I see, he's got 6 packs. He's got torn biceps. They look like they're about to rip out of his skin. I mean, what we need in Cleveland is a guy to replace J.R. Smith for the shirtless wonder, and he's our guy. I'm going to re-sign him strictly for that because when we have a parade, we need a shirtless player, and he's going to take the torch.
Interesting.
Check the
Interesting.
Ross there.
All right. Some people talk about, his nickname. Is his nickname good or is it bad?
I mean, it's a great nickname. I mean, you don't got too many people. Like, a guy sticking around for this long with one team for the Browns is unusual. I think the Chief is even more fitting because of his tenure here. If you sign him longer, hey, he's the Chief. He's here. He's Cleveland. It just fits him, especially if he stays.
All right, Ed.
Make up your mind, Cleveland. You got rid of Chief Wahoo, and now you're going to keep Chief David Njoku. It's either one or the other. You can't make up your minds. Once again, typical Cleveland. It's like, come on, guys. Ridiculous. Don't sign them, and that way at least you're consistent. No Chiefs. Okay. And no Indians.
We got to make up our mind. All right. What about some have praised his touchdown celebration? Some have said they're a little corny. Why don't you guys break this one down?
I'll go, and I'll say this. You know what? Touchdown celebration under Stefanski, we don't have too many touchdown celebrations. And you know what? Honestly, he's got to do something about that tomahawk thing or whatever he does. To me, that's insensitive. It's like the tomahawk chop at the Atlanta Braves games. He's just insensitive to the word chief. You guys can't make up your mind. Once again, it ties into the last question. So, no, it's touchdown celebration. Garbage. Get it out of here. Get him out of Cleveland.
Ross.
Man, Ed, just negative Nancy over here. Every single thing. It's kind of ridiculous. No, it's an awesome celebration because I'm sick of everyone doing the same thing. Oh, I do the gritty. Oh, I do the spike, which the only good spike was Gronk's, and everyone else is kind of lame. At least his is unique, and he's identified with it. I think you need that around here. Like, the Icky Shuffle was iconic. You need there's the Chief, whatever you want to call it, the Chief Spike.
Slam.
I don't know. Is there a name for it?
Chief Slam.
Chief Slam.
It's insensitive to Native Americans.
Finally, we think about where he came from, his education. Could maybe we get a glimpse of whether we should keep him or not based on where he played college?
He didn't finish college. He came to the draft early. Like, if you listen to the Bargain Browns, Jacob talked about how he's only 25 years old. But you know what? I don't care if he finished his degree because that means he went to school for sports and he went to the Browns for sports. And that's all that matters is that he catches touchdowns, he gets receptions, and that he wins games.
All right, Ed.
Cleveland, Ohio is known for a lot of brain drain over the last couple of decades. And once again, Chief David Njoku, racially insensitive to Native Americans. You know what? Harvard, Andrew Berry, Stefanski's Ivy League educated. You guys are promoting GEDs in Cleveland now. I mean, come on. What are you guys doing here? Get some smarts and intelligence on the football field, and maybe you'll start winning some football games.
Stay in Columbus, please.
All right. Well, thank you for all that you prepared. I'm more confused than I was if we should keep this player or not. Roger, what do you think?
I forget what side of the fence I was on after that, Andy, if I wanted to keep him or get rid of him. I had him tied going into the last one.
I think, at the end of the day, Ed's right. It's a political issue, whether we should keep him or not, and it's racially insensitive. So let's get rid of him. I'm on the other side of the fence on that. I think it's wonderful that, but then again, he has those abs, so maybe we should keep him. I don't know. Anyway.
And who needs more smart people in Berea? We got enough smart people in Berea.
I guess we're just going to have to see what AB does. We all trust in AB.
We should probably leave it up to him.
All right. Well, enough nonsense. I think it's time to introduce our amazing guest. He has been watching in the wings, wondering what the fuck he's doing.
He had us on his calendar to start at 9. He told me, he's like, be ready to go at 9. I said, all right, you get all pumped up and we'll be ready for you at 10:30.
He was so excited to come on, and now he's just like, oh my God, should I drop off? I don't know. Anyway, Kevin, welcome to the Dawg Chug. We are so happy to have you. How are you doing tonight?
Hello, boys. How's it going? That that last segment had me pretty heated there.
So are you keeping the chief, or are you getting rid of the chief?
Keep the chief. Big thing people don't remember from this past offseason is Myles Garrett freely spoke honestly about when he first came here, and Njoku even said he never learned in college to run block. It just wasn't in the developments for him, and especially this past offseason, they had a practice, and Myles Garrett noticed he was slacking off a bit when it came to blocking schemes. And with all his abs, his muscle, Garrett literally picked him up and threw him. And ever since that day, he knew that he had to work on his, he had to work with the offensive line to train on how this blocking thing actually works out. And if you guys remember this past season, he was one of our more reliable targets. He only had 5 drops, which with our receiver core, they might as well be Warfield, with the last season we had. And another thing people forget is we had week 1, we had our backup tackle knocked out for the year. We had, and then our 2 other tackles barely played. We all know about both Wills and his struggle with his ankle, and of course Conklin with him being out. Njoku for a lot of the year, even with his high yards, but they're like, it's not that high enough to sign him to a big of a deal he wants. You got to remember, if you look back at the tape, he had to do a lot of pass protect blocking because they were moving over right guards who had never played tackle, so he would have to come down, do the block, and then run his 10-yard route. We saw him absolutely dominate in his performance against both the Chiefs in that pass playoff game, and opening up the week, and against the LA teams, he absolutely dominated. I still remember the defenders still trying to catch up to him. He was a completely different person, and honestly, if he wasn't on the team this year, I think our quarterbacks would have got hit more, because he goes down and he makes that little pinch of a block, and that gives a guard, a center, and a rookie from Cincinnati just that little bit more time to be able to perform out there. I mean, it's absolutely astounding that it's all about catches, yards, and with Stefanski's system, it's a run first offense, and we have both your tackles. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, we saw Teller early on pull the guard, and he would absolutely light someone up. But then once both those backup guards went down, now you're on to the 3rd man, the 4th man, people who've never played tackle before. So I really think Njoku thrives when he doesn't have to be necessarily that blocker first, then receiver. We saw that a lot with Hooper the year before. Unfortunately, Hooper this year with his Stone Hands McGee, as I call him, he did not perform up to his contract, and I really think Njoku is the future here.
I think that whole segment, that whole bit, I think Andy and I are both kind of on the same page that David Njoku really, first of all, he progressed. Like you said, he started putting his nose in there. He really became a good blocker this season. I think Andy and I are on the same page that David Njoku needs to be on this football team.
We do a lot of set the record straight, right? You're breaking the 4th wall. But it is true. He, whatever. A guy that's that talented just wants to be like a $1,400 reception, 1,400 yards receiving guy. And when you're asking him to do things that he's not great at doing, a lot of times they're just going to be like, no, this is who I am. That is not David Njoku. No. He worked at it. He got better. I love a guy like that. So and
another thing to add to that, you got to remember our once OBJ started doing his whole song and dance, our wide receivers looking in, we all thought Donovan Peoples-Jones was going to have a breakout year. But, when the defense, if you look back at the tape, and I've always been a tape guy. I always like watching the offensive lineman in the interior. But when you look at the tape and people are like, oh, this guy's open at this point, this guy's open at that point, all our wide receivers couldn't create space by themselves. And when they were getting passed, it would either go through their hands or it would take someone to be wide open. They're running routes it's 3rd and 6. They're running 5-yard routes. So, when you put it all together, I mean, I really want to pass through that. I mean, not having either of your tackles and the backup tackle during games. I mean, you got to respect the hell that Njoku was able to be a tight end, man up. And since that Myles Garrett moment, I mean, he's great chemistry with the locker room. When he scores a touchdown, he does that spike like you guys were talking about. And I remember from his rookie year, I don't know if you guys remember, he jumped. It had to be from, I want to think it was the 20-yard line, but it had to be the 15. And it was defenders. He was in the air, about 5 feet in the air, and defenders were trying to grab him. And then our offensive players threw him into the end zone. He's all heart. It's raw talent that he has to develop.
Yes.
And, it's just having faith in him. And we're all hearing the rumors that he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't play here. And I think he proved to everyone that he'll put his body on the line. He'll do everything he needs to do, from what the coaches are telling him, what the defensive players are teaching him. Someone like Garrett taking him under his wing. I think it's a perfect situation. We got to resign him. Got to resign him.
Great. And let's let him be great here. I think we're all on the same page. You guys both put on hats, and I feel like it's like some secret code, and I'm like in danger. Like, what's going on?
I had to match them. If you want to go hat for hat, I got about 18 of them down here. I seen him put on his bowler. So I had to join him.
And I saw you had your Baker Mayfield jersey on under your hoodie there. Love it. We got support 6.
Oh yeah, always.
You, I didn't introduce you properly. You are on your own podcast, which is great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, and then I want to ask you a follow-up question.
Yeah. So my podcast, Big Kevin Sports Show, pretty much just me talking about my background and how it relates, and the connection between Achill, County Mayo, Ireland, and the city of Cleveland. I'm a dual citizen. I have homes in both. I live in the Cuyahoga area. Went to high school in the Cuyahoga area, and it's just me being myself. And the personality of Big Kev is pretty much me as a kid. My first jersey was Tim Couch, and it was all a real struggle to be a Browns fan. But my first memory was that the Browns didn't exist because they moved before I moved here to the country. And when I moved here, the Browns were back, and we've made it to the playoffs twice, and we've won one of them. So with all the struggle, it's pretty much the story of Ireland, and there's a strong connection that I bring to the podcast, of the connection between Achill and the city of Cleveland. Cleveland has about 30,000 people that have a connection to County Mayo. They're both in one. There's statues in County Mayo of people that have helped the city of Cleveland, and they have Browns backers all across that fine County Mayo. That it's also known as the Connaught area. That's what it was when the Queen and the King ruled. But now we're a free Ireland. So pretty much Big Kevin Sports is just me talking about Browns, my specialty. But of course, the Cavaliers, Buckeyes. And speaking of Ed, he realized he's in Columbus, right? Christopher Columbus, when he talked about the chief and being insensitive, he's got all his brain wires tangled. But that's for another conversation. But yeah, I just talk about Cleveland sports, a little bit college.
What age were you when you came to this great country?
I was 11 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and I learned the language. Ireland's not so different. People are like, well, what about the Gaelic, and what about your local area? A lot of people that are in the Ireland area have been there forever, and we speak English. You actually have to go to school to learn the Gaelic and stuff, so it's nothing that's too different. One of the biggest adjustments was learning my last name here. Because teachers would be like, let me try. Because I've been here now 20 years. So when they take Kevin, they'd say my name, Kevin McAndrews. And where I come from, it's Kevin McAndrews.
Do We have to
You
do the
gotta
Andres.
kind of roll the R's, kind of like
Got to roll the O's.
Yes, and the O's, yeah. And it's hard for us to translate the TH back into language. Another thing, Ireland, is the funniest thing that my family, who still lives there, my uncles, aunts, the big thing, they said they don't understand the translation. Maybe you guys can chime in on this. I went over there and said, pop. And they're like, the hell is that? What what pop? What are you doing? And soda. They're like, what? Over there, we just call everything Coke. Hey, can I have a Coke? And then you say, what kind of Coke? Sprite and all the different. But they were like pop, and every time I go over there, it's the same joke. Pop. Remember you said pop? Yeah, I do remember. That's why I'm talking about it right now to you guys. I just wanted to share that moment with you. It's like, oh my God, I'll never live that down. Hopefully they just pass away, so I have to stop talking about the time I was a kid going back over there saying pop.
So when I was a younger lad, I always thought it would be so cool to meet a girl who was like half Italian, so that she could make awesome food, and then half Irish, so she could drink. I always thought that would be like cool. And I always said, like, I want to meet a girl that's half Irish, half Italian. So one day I was at a bar with some friends, and I met a girl, and somehow I was talking to her, and then she mentions that she's half Italian, half Irish, and I was just like, oh my God, I need to be with this woman. And oh my God, guess what happened?
She's crazy.
She was the craziest fucking person I've ever met.
She either has some sort of mental defect, or she'll kill you because the Don told her to.
It got intense, got scary. I had to join the Witness Protection Agency for a little while, but anyway, at least I scratched that one off my bucket list. I'm glad that it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, Italian Irish, that's a rare mix. You got to be careful with that.
I'm 25 on each on two of them, and I'm crazier than a shithouse rat, so I couldn't imagine somebody who's fucking 50-50.
By the way,
in Goodfellas, Jimmy Conway, when Billy Bats went off on Tommy and told him to go get his shine box, and he flipped out. He's like, keep him here, Henry, keep him here. And he's like, get them Irish hoodlums a drink. Jimmy Conway, you know how crazy he was, killing all those people after the biggest robbery ever. It says, only one Irishman here. And that was him. That was Robert De Niro's character in Goodfellas. So
yeah.
he had mostly Irish, but a little bit of Italian. That's why they welcomed him. And that's potentially the girl you would have been with. The girl version of that.
Ross had a funny line about the whole Njoku debate, that I didn't like it because it wasn't 5 pages long. Which is funny. I like whenever I write something, it goes on way too long. It's the joke there. So we're gonna move on. We are all part of a great chat. That's how I was introduced to Kevin, and have grown a fond appreciation to Kevin. And we have a lot of fun in there. All 4 of the Dawg Chug members are in there, and I'm gonna bring Ross on now. We developed this little. There you are. This little contest that let's see who could make a comment in that chat that gets the most likes.
Reactions.
The most reactions, yes. So we've been working on that for a couple of days, and Ross, why don't you take away the results?
All right, so here you go. We're gonna go from lowest to highest reaction. So we got Rogers up first. He's just sharing that his son broke his finger and was trying to play in the basketball game, kind of like half the Browns roster playing injured in a way. He got 5 reacts on that one, so not a bad job. But I'm pretty sure he did that like right after we announced we were doing the competition, so he was definitely the first submission. Then I had an easy one, a little softball. I actually went to the Cavs game Saturday, and I just took a picture of where I was sitting, and everyone loved it. So I got 7 reacts. So that's pretty good. Then you had today, Ed had that pretty funny bit. Said Mary Kay Cabot when someone says Trubisky, and it's that clip of Nancy Pelosi from yesterday getting up, doing that awkward hand movement thing, looking like a Botox zombie. And then, you know what? I'm going to actually and then, of course, Andy, can you explain this one and just kind of maybe confess to everybody?
I'm not. Okay. So I do have a cousin that did pass away whose name was Bill. And I might have,
I knew it would fucking
like he didn't, whatever line I said that he said he was going to, from heaven, he was going to like make sure Cleveland's the winner. That didn't actually happen. But I do have a cousin that did die of COVID, who was diabetic, and he had like heart disease. I mean, whatever. He was not a healthy man, and he got COVID, and unfortunately it ended him. So yes, that did happen. I might have embellished a little bit, and I definitely posted it in this chat so that I would get some reactions, and I got 8. So
here's the trick. The thing that Andy did was he sucked us into liking his message.
Yeah.
So like that he got 3 probably likes from Ed, Roger, and myself.
Right.
We were not reacting to our own messages.
We're reacting to dead Uncle Bill.
First of all, I reacted to Ed's one because I thought that was hilarious. So
I actually did too. I think I did, but that was worth it. That was really good.
I'm sorry that my poor cousin Bill's demise wasn't worth it.
So anyone watching in the chat, that was going on. I mean, we try to be funny, so I hope that's encouraged.
I got a quick story for you about this contest. Today, I got a hold of the administrator, and I said to him, I said, hey, we got this contest. I need to get 9 or 10 likes on a post. So I put a post in the group. Hey guys, I'm not getting any DMs so that I can. Nobody in that chat has open DMs. You cannot DM anybody in that fucking chat. They must think they're the president of the United States. You can't DM any of them. Victor, Shenanigan, none of them. So they're all. And then they're like, where the hell's the post? The problem is it got buried so fast because that chat moves so fucking fast, man. It moves so fast. So I tried to cheat you to beat you today, but it fell short. I only got 5 on the Chops post. Kevin's like, I got you. I'll like it. And I only got 5 though. And I tried to cheat and I still couldn't beat you guys.
Wow, I think oh, there's Ross. I think you were frozen for a minute. Well, anyway,
really still.
We'll have to implement that again, and we'll have rules around it so we can't cheat, but whatever. We'll have to make the comment in our chat, and then if it gets approved, we can post it in there. We'll see. Anyway, point is, good job, Ross. That was a Ross idea. You're always thinking, and we love it. That's why Dawg Chug is so funny every week. And we're gonna say goodbye to Ross, and now we are going to play a classic Dawg Chug bit, Spit, Sip, Chug. And obviously, Kevin, since you're a huge fan of our show, you know exactly what this is, but I'll explain it for all the fans that, this is their first time watching. I'm going to make a statement, and if you strongly agree, you're going to explain why and chug. And if you have a drink, I encourage you to chug. And you have Heineken, right?
Yeah, Heineken.
Yeah, I decided to switch it up for you Yanks. By the way, I'm an American citizen too. Let's just be clear.
Nice. How long did it take you to become an American citizen, by the way?
It took me 7 years.
Wow. Okay.
Around the same time. If you didn't know, are you familiar with Will Sasso?
I am not.
He was on Mad TV. How else would you? He was the lemon guy on the Vines.
Okay.
The big lemon guy. The lemon would. But it took him 7 years. He was a Canadian citizen, and it took him a while. But we took about the same amount of time, and he's a 100 millionaire.
Wow. Well, how are you doing? Are you 100 millionaire?
If I was any better, it'd be a sin. You know that.
All right. So I'm going to ask questions. If you strongly agree, you're going to chug. If you are tepid, then you're going to sip. And if you strongly disagree with whatever I'm saying, you're going to explain why and spit. Got it? Make sense?
Got it.
All right. Here we go. First question for Spit, Sip, Chug. Some think the Browns should trade. Oh, and this is, by the way, our good friend of the Dawg Chug off-season chops. This is kind of one of his questions. I'm just throwing it out for the Dawg Chug. Some think the Browns.
Congrats to him and his potato farm. Shout out to him.
Some think the Browns should trade back in the first round to add an extra second rounder this year. Assuming that's a good idea, the Browns should avoid trading with the Pittsburgh Steelers so so they can't move up to get their quarterback of the future. We're going to start with you, Kevin.
So they can't avoid to get their quarterback of the future.
Should we not trade with the Steelers to prevent them from moving up to get their quarterback for the future?
Oh, absolutely.
There you go.
All right. Look at that. You're chugging like you need.
Absolutely. The Steelers, we got to do everything in our power to not allow them to find that franchise quarterback. They've been, I mean, when I first became aware, I accidentally thought that Charlie Fry was our Big Ben. And I was sadly incorrect. But no, anything to help the Steelers, we cannot afford to do. Now that Ben's retired, they have the set of Haskins and his own helmet getting smashed on his face. I think we got to keep it that way, yeah. And hopefully they rely on them enough to think that move. I mean, if they just keep drafting quarterbacks in the first round the next couple of years, I mean, I've been going to church. Just give me 5 years of them struggling, just everything falling apart. You know, I mean, their organization has this history of just being great, and as soon as the Browns started to decline after that 50s and 60s run, the Steelers in the 70s started to move up, and then when the two teams were even, it was kind of like a level playing field. So I would not do anything to be able to even give the Steelers a chance to say, "Oh, we got them."
You have done your history.
Jeez.
Let me ask you
Oh,
this.
and by the way, the Steelers were one of the only teams to vote to keep Cleveland in Cleveland before they moved to Baltimore. But that was a long time ago. So
a long time ago. We still respect them for that. For only that, though. Let me ask you this, though. If you talk to people from the homeland, does your accent come out?
It goes right back to even after a few drinks, it really starts to go. We start singing.
I have a good friend, and she was the exact same way. As soon as she would talk to someone with, that was from Ireland, her accent would just immediately come out. It was funny. Anyway, sorry about that. Roger, what say you?
First of all, you get me back on 69th Street at the festival. I'm like, Bing, what the fuck? Bing, what's going on over here? It don't take long. I'm going to sip on it.
So you would do the trade or you would avoid doing the trade? You're not sure.
I would do the trade if I knew that they were going to go and try to pick their franchise quarterback in this year's draft, because there's no franchise quarterbacks in this year's draft, in my opinion.
You don't want them to move up and get a good player that's not a quarterback. Is that what you're saying?
Right. If they're going to go up and get an edge, or they're going to go up and get a cornerback, I wouldn't do it. But if I knew for sure, that's why I'm sipping. If it was that because they're going to go after a quarterback, then I'd trade away and get my picks and let them go pick a bum that's going to join Haskins and Rudolph and the rest of them on the, and keep them in misery.
I am going to, and don't share this with Heather. She doesn't realize I'm doing this after Jessica said I'm not allowed to spit down here. I'm going to spit. At the end of the day, there is no quarterback worth trading up in this draft for. So if they make that mistake and they trade up with us or anyone else, I'm going to be celebrating it. And secondly, if Andrew Berry makes a trade, I know he's going to be on the better side of it. Like every time he makes a move, it's going to be pro Browns. So if we trade with the Steelers, great, because they're doing something stupid and we're doing something smart, is how I view it.
Right.
All right. Question number 2, or statement number 2, sorry. Recent reports say the Cleveland Browns are exploring a trade for former second-round, 5'9" speedster and Mayfield Heights alumni, Andy Isabella. What a great name. If the cost was a 6th-round pick, the Browns should make this trade. Roger?
Chugging.
Wow.
Not only was it a great name, Andy, but Isabella Bakery, me, and get a loaf of bread, 69th Street when I was a little kid, forget about it. When it comes to wide receivers, if they have the speed and the talent, I don't care how tall they are. Look at there's a lot of receivers in the NFL. So yeah, I'm chugging on that.
All right. I am gonna say this. I have a buddy who works for Mayfield Heights School who actually has Andy's sister in his class, and he gets to talk to her. And he has shared with me that he would just love to come to Cleveland. I know the guy has done nothing in the NFL and kind of seems like a bum. Really, I think most of Brown's Twitterverse would be down on this move, but he shared that he just has a very awful connection with the wide receiver coach in Arizona, and they got off like on the wrong foot from the very beginning. He wants a clean slate. At the end of the day, it's $2 million probably for his year to bring a guy with that kind of potential, with that speed. I want to throw as many darts at the dartboard. I'm not huge on Schwartz. I know that's the problem. He has the exact same skill set as Schwartz. But I want to throw as many darts at that dartboard as I can. So I'm absolutely pro bringing him in. So I'm chugging on that one.
Yeah, Schwartz. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I remember how the game was played, so I won't chug half of this before I speak. Yeah, I think you do it. Everyone will refer to, well, what about Tom Brady's 6th round? That hasn't happened since. So what are we thinking? When it does come to the draft, I do get a little bit worried about, especially early on, us trading down, and then drafting Phil Taylor, and he can't even get off to the sideline for 3rd down plays, and Julio Jones being selected. But this is a 6th round. I think this is a no-brainer. Local kid, I say you bring it in. So yeah, I'll be chugging that.
Awesome. All right.
I agree with the Schwartz thing. He's not a football player. I'm not impressed with him either, Andy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's worth bringing up. And look, I'm not like saying we should get rid of Schwartz and he's never going to produce. I think Schwartz had an impressive year. I know they value his intelligence and his determination. So I'm really hopeful Schwartz can develop. I'm just skeptical. And I think it's too crucial. We need that speedster. We need it. And I would rather have a couple options than just saying Schwartz is our guy. We don't need to double up on that. So
let me ask you this, Dawg Chug.
Yeah.
Do you think it's finally time to move on from Rashard Higgins?
Yes.
Oh God, absolutely.
Day before, personal issue. And it's like they've been practicing all week, and it's like, oh, he won't be a part of this. And it's like, Baker's playing with 5 injuries. It's like, I don't think we can keep this going. I think he was a late round pick, Colorado State, but I think it's time to move on.
I'm going to answer like this. And I love Hollywood Higgins and everything.
Me too.
And last year was a terrible year where everything was awful. And I don't know if when things are going bad, everything looks worse than it really is. It's like the baseball term when you're playing bad, you're not as bad as you look, and when you're playing good, you're not as good as you look. I don't know if Hollywood Higgins is that guy at this point, the kind of how he looks right now. But I would say the coaching staff knows, and if they bring him back, then great. I'll hope he gets it back together. But at this point, my gut is they're going to let him walk, and that's probably not a bad thing. So that's where I'm at.
I don't see him making. He'd struggle to make a roster anywhere else in the NFL. His worth is what the chemistry he had with Baker Mayfield that they developed when Mayfield was a rookie playing on the second team. And that's his entire value. I think he goes into a system with a different quarterback, people he don't know, a quarterback you don't know, and I don't even know if he makes an NFL roster, to be honest with you. No speed.
Thank you.
That's a hot take from Roger First.
There you go. That's the one for the month.
All right. Question number 3. Statement number 3. I always say question. I'm really bad at this hosting gig. The Browns would be wise to cut J.C. Tretter to clear about $8 million in cap space for the 2022 season. I'm going to start this one off, and I hate sipping in this because it feels like I'm not taking a stance, just like I did with Hollywood Higgins. But I am going to sip on this one because at the end of the day, I would like to restructure J.C. Tretter. I don't want him gone. I think center is too important of a position, and I love Nick Harris, but I don't want to be down to one guy. I would just rather cut a little bit off of the fat off J.C. Tretter's contract, maybe even give him another year, and then have his experience. He's a great locker room guy. I know the whole offensive line really loves each other and is close, so I don't want to move anything unless we have to. So I'm going to say restructure, so I'm going to sip. I think we're going to Kevin next.
Man, oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna sip too.
You
with
pussy.
him,
You're a giant pussy.
I mean, go fuck your mother if you can find her. Even if you can't, I'll dig her up. I'll fight. But anyway, I say you got to keep him on. He's a veteran of the team. It all runs through him. He's making the play adjustments, and like I said before, I mean, he didn't have his 2 tackles on the outside. Do you think with him this year, calling out and switching up plays under center, do you think our guards really stood out this year? Because it all runs through the center. I played left tackle for the University of Akron, and that center calls it turbo. Linebackers coming. They're about to do a switch on the defense. He has to make all those reads before he snaps the ball. And if you remember past Browns teams, how many times we have a center snap it over our quarterback's head? My God, is that frustrating?
Not good when you know.
Oh, my God. And, you got a reliable guy. He is older, but you know what? Let's restructure a little bit. But I think we got to keep him on. He's the head of the NFL Players Association now. I really think, and you know what? Now that I think of it, don't be too surprised if Njoku, much like Kareem Hunt, much like other Browns veterans, structures it so, and like Nick Chubb, restructures it so we have more money to give to outside people coming in. I really think Treader will be open to it. I know he's a veteran, and he's past his prime now, but I don't know how you replace a leader like that.
Plus, he knows he's not going to make $8 million in the open market, so it makes sense to restructure it so you get more than the open market would pay you. All right. And by the way, Ross did mention Go Zips, so good job.
Cheer the Akron, blue and gold. We cheer as the colors unfold. We pledge anew, we're all for you as the Zips go crashing through. Fight. Yes, University of Akron, class of 2017.
Wow, good job, Roger. How would you answer this one?
Fear the Roo.
Zip go to zippers.
I'm spitting. I can't spit on the floor.
I'll spit for you.
That was the worst spit ever.
I'm spitting because the last thing you want to do on this football team is disrupt an offensive line. J.C. Treader is the leader of that offensive line. This guy has missed, 2 games in 5 years? He goes out there, he hobbles out there, they tape him up, and he's going to go out there no matter how hurt he is. He's going to go out there and play. Like you said, I'm not, he calls all the calls. We went through this once with the center, and he went to Kansas City. We'll just get rid of center. Ain't that important? Who was the center? Number 55, Alex Mack, right?
Alex Mack. He went to Atlanta.
He went to Atlanta. You're right. I'm sorry. You don't get rid of the center of your. You don't get rid of them. Whether they restructure, give them some front end money, restructure the contract. I think whatever you do, you do whatever you have to do to keep J.C. Treader.
Wow, that is a nice glass you're drinking that shitty beer out of.
Yeah, thank you. It was blessed by the Pope. Not really. I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you.
All right, we got one more.
Fuck the Pope. No, sorry.
Chug edition.
Cut that out.
Are you Sinead O'Connor?
We're not actually going to cut that out. You are going to be nominated for a Chuggy next year. We're going to play that clip all the time.
I like when I go on host. I know we're live right now, but I like to go aside. Hey guys, cut this part out. Okay, I'm going to say something. You guys just start clapping and laughing your fucking balls off. Hey, fuck the Pope. Hey, okay, put that in. Perfect. All right, everyone liked it.
All right.
Now my mother. You're going to have my Irish mother. And then
here's the fourth statement of this edition of Spit Sip Chug. Major League Baseball recently announced games would be canceled due to the ongoing Major League Baseball lockout, and I don't care as I'm currently feeling I'm over baseball. Roger.
I'm not going to do an awful spit on this, but I spit on this. I care about baseball. It's the greatest. It's the greatest game ever played. Baseball will be here when Manfred and listen. This is why they cut out the first two series of baseball, is because baseball loses money in April and May. paying the salaries for those first 2 series the first month. Everything they did up to this point, the owners, was a dog and pony show leading up to they lose money paying millions of dollars to players when you have a 20% stadium filled when it's 30, 40, 50 degrees in Detroit, Cleveland, everywhere on the East Coast, Boston, New York. They're saving money. That's what this was about and cutting it out. I love baseball. It's my favorite sport. I care about it. And I'm going to go to Rubber Ducks games until Major League gets their act together and they get their shit together and bring baseball back.
Aye, Akron, rubber capital. Amen to that.
Roger coming out hot. Love it. I am also spitting on this one.
For the love of the game.
And listen, I'm conflicted on this one because it makes me angry that baseball players have it better than any other sport athletes, right? I mean, they've held firm, they've battled the owners, and they've gotten it set up pretty good. So for them to sit there and say we don't have enough, it's kind of annoying. The way the ownership, I mean, God, Manfred is just the worst commissioner possible. It's like
I miss Bud Selig.
It's laughable how bad he is, and it's so irritating for him to sit there like we tried, and it's not our fault. They didn't come to they didn't agree that we're canceling games. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Figure it out. Obviously, the players smell blood in the water. They know like baseball's reputation is taking a hit, so they're standing tall. Good for them.
Yes.
It's time for the owners just to say like we got to give in because this is a crucial point for the future of baseball. So pay them whatever you have to do. Figure it out. I agree, Roger. You're probably right. They're just saying, we'll wait till like mid-May and we'll get baseball going.
The owners want a 140 game season. They don't want to pay 162.
I'll tell you what. I wish baseball would like shrink down to like 120. That would be such a better
season. 140,
125
games. Yeah, and absolutely.
But whatever. At the end of the day, this will get figured out. Baseball's not going anywhere. It's great. I love it. I can't wait till I can watch the Guardians. So I am spitting on that one. Kevin.
Thank you for letting me have the floor, gentlemen.
You know what your turn. Oh, we're all spitting. We all spit.
Yes.
Just get the spit.
All right. Can you chug all that right now? No, you cannot.
Oh, this? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What do you got? The champagne of beers there? You got a Miller now?
All right.
Switching up a little bit. I have everything in my arsenal. I am Irish, remember. You know, it's kind of like, I feel like the man running the show is kind of like, he's like the guy in Goodfellas. And going back to Goodfellas, you know, it's like the guy who's bleeding. And Henry goes back and he gets the aprons and there's blood everywhere and he puts it on top and is like, okay, I got to save this guy. He's like, oh, you wasted all the fucking aprons. Can't believe it. You're a real jerk. We got to toughen this guy up. I think that's what the owner, or what is he, commissioner? Yeah. The commissioner needs to toughen up. A lot of this negotiation is for the lower level players that you have single A, double A, triple A. It's more about them. It's giving them a living to be able to, aren't we past the point of them all traveling around on a bus? Or we past the point of, it's not hockey in the 80s anymore. I mean, it's unbelievable to me that even with the latest, and we all thought, that was last night, right? Midnight. And we thought something was going to finally pull. And then the Players Association backed out. It really comes down to you're talented enough to be drafted by us coming out of college. And you do not need to get your degree anymore because we believe enough in you to be a part of our organization. And you know what? It just really pisses me off that this guy, and like I said before, it makes Selig look like a saint. It's basic living now, with everything that's gone on these past 2 years. I know we've all been affected by it. It's changed our life. Just a little bit of human kindness, a little bit of, don't be so greedy. Do you know how much the Dolans have made as being MLB owners and how little they've spent on this team? They can spend as much as Steinbrenner. That's what people don't understand. They can
Absolutely
spend just as much. And if you don't know, Steinbrenner, he's from a town I live in now, Bay Village.
Yeah.
Went to high school.
They all know it.
He offered to buy the Indians, and the city said no.
Yeah.
So we have this guy in Cleveland. I mean, he won't even re-sign the people that make our lives fun. Jose Ramirez and, everything. I mean, he's still holding on to, he had to pay Travis Hafner-Pronk back in that time. So, I mean, it's a real problem with the big markets being big, but consistently, even the Cavs, Indians are now Guardians. We're always top 5 in TV market. We love our sports teams. Pay these younger guys, and like I said, we'll go to Arrows. I mean, or not Arrows. I'm sorry, that was back in the Rubber Duck games. We'll go down to Columbus to see the Clippers. We love these, and we're putting money into it. Gear, all that stuff. I still have my Arrows hat. We will be there. You pay them.
Here's the thing about baseball. What other is the NBA or the NFL trying to shorten their game and their TV time? Baseball, when I was 20, I didn't sit glued to the TV or the radio watching baseball or listening to baseball. I'd go to the ballpark, we'd drink, we'd have fun. You start to appreciate baseball. Now I sit on the front porch and I listen to Hammy and Rosie every night because you start to appreciate it as you get older. As you get older, who wants to shorten if the NFL could, they make their games 8 hours long because it means more TV fucking revenue. Why are you trying to shorten the game to appease 20-year-olds that it don't matter if it was 3 innings, they're still going to fucking drink beer and not pay attention, and they're going to root when a ball is hit over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball is a game to be appreciated over time. And when these 20-year-olds are 40 and 50, they're going to appreciate 3.5 hours of sitting on their porch, listen to Hammy and Rosie and listen to the baseball. When they mow their grass, when they're sitting on their deck, whatever they're doing, they're going to appreciate baseball. Baseball's there from April to October. It's always there. It's a constant. It's not going anywhere.
All right.
I'd like to pitch you one more thing. Great what you said about Tom Hamilton. I grew up, I listened to him do play-by-play, even Joe Tate, and we really have to appreciate these guys. One of the first
Donovan.
Jimmy Donovan, Michael Ray guy back in the day. Him doing the MAC game, just hearing him say my last name on TV for the 2 games I was able to dress up as, and him giving me a shout out and following me, flight number 23 off the launch pad, and the wind up the pitch, swung on and belted away back, gone.
That's beautiful.
3-run home run, Jason Giambi, and even
that's great.
Phelps, who unfortunately passed away. 52 years. Cleveland has won it, City of Champions.
Yeah, McLeod. Yeah, McLeod. Yeah,
McLeod, and just all these guys that are in our lives, And I mean, baseball will always be there for the city. We might not get the attendance, but like I said before, we're always top 5 in market. Even if you look at the NFL for the draft, we didn't have a top pick. We had a lower pick. It was in Cleveland. The 2 top markets: 1, Cleveland; 2, Columbus.
But baseball is going to be there for the entire world. We go to a complex and play baseball, and it's packed with kids 6 nights a week, and that's just in Cuyahoga Falls. And you go to every city in this country, in the Dominican, and across the world, baseball isn't fucking going anywhere. And people that say, Ken Carmen on the radio, is baseball going to die? Get the fuck out of here. Baseball ain't going to die. It's America's pastime.
Yes, me back in Ireland, tilting my cap a little bit to be like CC Sabathia, throwing his hard again against the stuff. Me and Omar throwing the 4-3 double play. That will never go away.
We turned into a Guardian podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna.
We got one more game. Yeah,
we're premiering.
That was awesome. I
Roger Kevin Major League Baseball podcast is coming soon.
I am doing
Spin off of the Dawg Chug. It's gonna be amazing.
Me and the Big Mick are gonna do a baseball podcast.
Absolutely, a half a meatball. Yeah, let's do this.
And here is Ed in Columbus. He looks like he fell
Jesus.
asleep.
God.
There goes a good time.
For Pete's sake.
He had a funny comment, I guess. I don't think it was actually funny. But
okay, the only thing, I got 2 things I'm going to say. See, when you guys say old school, Kevin, I think of my old school is like, I don't know, like, before Jim Donovan and like Casey Coleman and Nev Chandler and stuff like that. And then like Herb Score, before the great Tom Hamilton, Herb Score's last game was Game 7 of the World Series. And when the Marlins hit the single and Edgar Renteria, he said season over.
You're losing the audience.
That was an E5. No, E4.
Thank you. All right, well, I'll go ahead to my joke. what I was going to say. You guys are all missing baseball, which honestly, the young kids, they don't care. So you know what? I have so much hate for Putin right now. If baseball started, I can't split up that hate between Putin and Paul Dolan.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for jokes. I'm sorry, guys.
All right.
What an awful joke. Who gives a shit? That's great.
I was going to
God
cut that
bless
part
him.
out of the show, but you just made it hilarious. Thank you, Kevin.
I did an internship actually at, have you guys ever heard of Opie and Anthony?
Yes.
Yes.
New York, Sex for Sam. Yeah, I was an intern there, and Jim Norton introduced me to stand-up comedy. So once Ed's out of the picture, I would love to come on and throw you guys a couple
Ed's out of
insults
the
as long as
picture.
it's
We'll keep that out.
We get rid of that out of the picture.
What's it called? 1980s with what was that fighter? Raging Bull. When he's sitting there and there's the older guy who's like, all right, we're going to fix the fight. He's like, guy's so pretty. I'm not sure if I should fuck him or fight him. And the old guy's like, fuck him or fight him. The worst joke ever. Later on, he's in his 50s. He's telling jokes and he sleeps with an underage child. It's like, oh my Jake LaMotta. That's Ed.
That's not me. That's not me.
Oh, hey.
No, that's not me. But
You're the Jake LaMotta of Columbus.
You're not going anywhere. You are a member of the Dawg Chug for the long term. So sorry
I'm
for the
breaking
audience.
well, that's my
Breaking your
punishment.
balls.
That's fine.
He gets so testy, man.
breaking your balls, right? Getting fucking fresh.
I'm not fucking underage people, okay?
Well, that's why you have no power. Look at the people down in Washington. All right. I don't know how far politics goes.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
We like-
Epstein
we
and
like
all that
going-
stuff. That was what the reference was to. I was not insinuating that everyone in the government.
It's a dog. Don't worry.
Hey,
No, there's no
Kev,
audience. There's no
Big
audience.
Kev,
Don't worry about it.
Kev.
It's gonna be fine.
If you bring Ed on your podcast one time, he don't fucking leave. So I'm just gonna warn you now.
My Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle never left either.
Ask the
That's my
Barking
plan.
Browns and us. Once you have that on, you can't get rid of him. He's there forever. He's there forever.
Great shout out also Jacob and the Barking Browns.
Barking,
You guys
yeah.
have me
Yes,
on. I
love
told you
Barking
guys
Browns.
that I
Nick Carnes,
absolutely
we love you,
on.
babe.
They had
Love
definitely
our
done
local
a much
podcast.
better
Love
show
them.
than a week ago when they had Ed in Columbus and Catalina Manch Mixer on. That was terrible. What a bad
Kev.
show.
Kev, that's how we all met. We were guests on the same night. Barking Browns, Andy and I, Ed, and that's how Andy and I got together is because of the Barking
Did you forget Colin's
Perfect.
name? Did you forget
Well,
that
I
Colin-
just meant who's associated with the Dawg
Yeah.
Chug.
All right, we got it. Ed, thank you. We love you. That was a hilarious joke.
I don't
know
do
if-
anything underage, and he never did.
Well, only because they wouldn't have.
Drinking, maybe underage drinking back in the day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
We're going
This
to move
was-
on to our final
I
segment.
can't wait for this one. I've been waiting. Oh, man, I can't wait for this one. You're going to like
Sorry
this.
about me moving around and looking down. I had this charger. It said warning, low battery, but it's plugged in. Sorry about that. I was listening to Ed, but he wasn't saying anything important. So let's go on.
This one's for the misfits. It's for you. It's for the misfits.
Right. At the end of every episode of the Dawg Chug, we like to play a game, and we're going to play a game with you. If you win the game, basically you're going to be in the running to get potentially a Dawg Chug t-shirt if we ever come up with a Dawg Chug t-shirt, which we keep saying we're working on, but it hasn't been happening. Maybe it'll happen, and maybe you'll win. All right.
Oh, by the way, I know a couple people that can help you out with that. I know my
All right.
profile
As
picture
your
doesn't
first
show it.
duty of being, a part of the Dawg Chug producing team, find us shirts, and then maybe you could win one. All right.
Yeah, my friends over at the Pay Nick Chubb, I can hook you up with them and
Hook
get
us
you
up,
guys linked.
Because
Talk to you off air about it.
we have 4 very hardworking people that don't want to do this.
You guys know we can't say what other than the podcast and what I do for a living, but I know people. I'll get you guys figured.
All right.
Ask and you shall receive.
No idea what you're referring to.
Yep, it's okay. Yep, nothing's
All right.
happening here.
Here's the bottom line. I know we don't want to give this person too much attention, but at the end of the day, whatever.
It's good
I don't
content.
care. Yeah, it's good content. We've all been talking a lot about our good friend Off-Season Chops. I think, actually, I want to ask you a question right now. You're not a fan of his, right? Would
9.
you say you're a fan, or would
9.
you say you're not a fan of
I'm a
off-season
big
Chug?
fan of his as I am about the Nazi Party, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough. Very, very
Yes.
politically said. But what makes someone bad at tweeting? Like, what is it about someone that does what he does that you're not a fan of? If you could just
Sure.
put it into some words.
Sure, just to put it into a category. Oh man, you guys had me drinking really fast this year. Anyway,
whatever.
like
You're
to get
Irish.
you-
You can
What?
handle it.
why I'm not a fan of his. Okay, so he has an
What
account.
problem do you have with this? Is the better
Sure.
way to say
He
it.
comes on here, and just a year ago, we were in the playoffs, and he's pro Baker. We have screenshots and everything about it. I haven't saved in my phone. And after this season, we don't make the playoffs. It's disappointing. And he zeroes in on Baker is to blame. It's this Baker guy. Because, a lot of people in Ohio have this background where they like the Buckeyes and they remember that moment when Baker flag planted the 50-yard line. That's not what he is. He is an unoriginal gentleman who, in his own mind, cannot come out with any contact or, I'm sorry, I've had a couple, any communication of the Browns' overall plan. He can't see outside of Baker Mayfield failed us.
Yeah.
And that is the only reason, if you look at his timeline, Baker.
Everything's
and
about
it goes outside of that, guess what happens? No favorites, no retweets. It's very similar to the popular media in our area.
Yeah.
He is doing the 101 that has allowed Grossy to rise, Mary Kate to rise, and he is zooming in on that. And if you look at anything that he has posted, any Browns fan, I showed you guys underneath. I got my Baker sweatshirt on. They had custom made for $220 and my Browns. And this is why I had this year, 75th anniversary. And if you guys remember last year, my birthday, September 17th, but actually it was 2 years ago now, 2020. I don't know how that works, but it was the 100-year anniversary of the NFL, 1920. The Akron Pros won the first championship. There were 8 teams in the NFL. They were all from Ohio. That is why the Canton National Football League Hall of Fame is here. National football was started here. They celebrated that in a Thursday night football. The Browns won 35-23 against the Bengals, if you recall. And that was with
I don't recall.
20% capacity. And when OBJ made that catch, scored a touchdown, you would have thought that it was a full capacity stadium. Baker to OBJ on that touchdown. It sounded like the crowd was screaming, like there were people 100% capacity during COVID and people outside just screaming like it was a Cavs Game 7. We are a football town, and he does not understand. He knows enough to be a social media presence. He has clothing from that 100-year celebration. He has not updated it. His last 6 profile pictures, I guarantee, were before 2020. I'll buy him a $130 jersey. I've done it before. I bought a Trent Richardson jersey, and 2 days later, it announced week 3 of the season, he was traded. He was traded. And guess what I did with the jersey? I didn't bring it back in. That is now a part of me. That is a part of my tradition. Tim Couch, Courtney Brown, Big Money Warren, Charlie Fry, Quincy Morgan, all the way up to Trent Richardson. I will always buy Browns. I will always buy a jersey for each season. And then I recognize that I was making players in my own head and crazy mind of a Browns fan. It is my fault that these players are becoming bust. So I decided to go sweatshirts. That's why this is a Baker Mayfield sweatshirt. I stopped buying Browns jerseys and made it my first and last name.
You were the reason.
All on me.
All right.
Because I am the reason why the Browns are losing.
You know what
his whole persona is, it's Baker's fault. This is why I get attention. It's like a little kid, Someone tells a little kid, hey, don't do that, and he keeps doing it. That's what Chelsea means to me.
I got to say this.
Lunch.
when people come to this country and they're like, okay, to take the citizen test, you got to learn the history of this country. We just mean like the Liberty Bell and shit. They go from the Liberty Bell until the day Trent Richardson and everything fucking in between that, man. They know everything. They blow Americans away. He knows way more than I. He knows more than I know, man. They're just like crack the books and they're fucking reading.
I mean, when you're looking at sheep all day and you don't have, what am I going to watch? The BBC and watch another rugby game? No, I'm gonna do my Browns history.
They're like, I don't know if this is going to be on the citizen test. I'm fucking reading it.
All right. So I just want to say, like, I think I hear what you're saying. And at the end of the day, the problem I guess I have with Chop's account is you're right. He is realizing what makes him
clicks.
Yeah,
relevant,
clicks, and then sticking to that. But at the end of the day, like, it's so lame when you have a Twitter account where, like, we all know what you're gonna say about everything. It feels like when you read his account, it feels like you're reading the news about Fox. You see the news and you go, oh, I'm gonna go check Fox News, or I'm gonna check on CNN and see what they have to say about it. Like, it's all spin. It's not actual thoughts.
Right.
It's like I need to take whatever is going on and I need to just fit it into my narrative in this nice little digestible package, and it's bullshit. And you either like what he's doing and you praise him, or you don't agree with him and then you fight with him. And either way, he's getting attention. And fine, that's the way you want to be cool. But like, if I had a news channel, I would never want to be CNN or Fox News. I would actually want to produce the fucking news, like actually what's going on, and no bullshit. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, and that's why I have a problem with Chops. If I'm going to be honest,
all he does is replace Trump with Baker. That's the difference. Like all those news media cycles that even out to this day, they're like, remember he met with Putin and stuff. That's the highest Twitter account, and that in this local area of Cleveland, trending every day. Baker Mayfield. And did you notice, by the way, that the Cleveland Browns removed their little tag when you do #Browns?
I did.
They don't have that little logo after it anymore, because every day people are like, oh, that's the color of my team. I'm a bot that is a part of this bigger profile. I'll do the hashtag and also refer to this bigger name person. And they'll keep gaining followers and stuff. And the Browns are like, it's enough. He just had surgery. And they're like, we'll just get rid of the hashtag. The other NFL teams still have theirs up, but they're like, this is getting absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right.
Well. Okay.
Anyway, this is going to be fun.
You're gonna love it.
You have obviously studied a lot about Chops. You know what he was tweeting back in the day when he was pro Baker. You know what he's tweeting currently when he's anti Baker, when everything is Fox News. Like, this is spin. So what we're going to do, we're going to read you 5 tweets. And all you have to do is say that is a Chops tweet or is that is not a Chops tweet. Very simple. And if you get 3 out.
Is he going to be impersonating Mary Kay? Is he going to be impersonating Tony Grossi? I mean, we already have those people, Chops. You got to work on a new act, buddy.
All right. Yeah.
And actually grow your hair out, Peach Fuzz kid. Jeez, oh man. Get a look at that kid's beard. I have never seen it. What is that? I'm Irish. Look at this. You can tell. Look at the hair. Look at everything. I'm actually would like to do a plug. I'm growing this out for St. Baldrick's to promote curing childhood cancer. And that's why I look like such a mess today. I had my hair up in the ponytail before you guys started. You saw me laugh, and I was like, you know what? I might as well show it. And you can do that. You can donate towards it. I'm up to about 2,400 on my PayPal, and everything that's raised will be going towards me shaving my head live and the beard. I mean, that has been raised since we couldn't do it last year due to COVID restrictions. But right before St. Patty's Day, we're going to be doing the shave, and you guys should see me without this hair. And I am a beautiful boy, but it's a great cause, and I'll definitely be plugging where you guys can donate, and we'll have it live on video, and it's going to be a fun time.
I won't miss that. Cause. That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful.
Well, your hair is amazing right now. It's like, this is someone I want to drink with, and so let's drink right now.
I love you, boys. Yes. Solange.
Salute.
Skol.
Nastovia.
All right. Let's get out of the game. The show's going late, so let's get this over with. I'm going to read a tweet. All you have to do is say, yes, this is a Chops tweet, or no, this is not a Chops tweet. It's very simple. You got to get 3 out of 5 of them right. If you do, whoever you hook us up with to make shirts, you will be in the running to win one of those shirts. This is really exciting. Tweet number 1. I still think the Browns need Odell to reach their full potential. I think he and Baker can do it. Did Chops actually tweet that, or did I make that up?
Made it up.
That is a real tweet. He did tweet that.
Yeah,
it's hard because he flip-flops. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's great. It seems like it's too legible for him to be on.
But that's an Odell-centric. He's a fanboy of Beckham, and that should have gave that away right there.
All right. Here we go. Tweet number 2. And this is like middle of the season. This was tweeted.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield has absolutely no help out there. If one person blames him, I'm losing my mind. Was that a fake tweet or is that a real tweet by Chops?
I didn't become aware of him until the season ended, as you guys know in our chats. Can you repeat it again, please?
All right, I will be happy to repeat it again. Baker Mayfield has absolutely no help out there. If one person blames him, I'm losing my mind.
Can't be him.
So you're saying it's a fake tweet? That is correct. You are 1-1. That is actually a Roger Firsting false tweet.
That was my tweet.
My man, yes. Yes, absolutely. You know the truth.
Right. Okay. This is a tweet that came before the season started. Listening to Baker with the media, there's a level of confidence radiating from him I haven't seen before. Sorry, I've also had a few.
That's okay.
Okay. There's a level of confidence radiating from him I haven't seen before, and he's always been a confident guy. Did Chops tweet that, or did he not tweet that?
Yeah, he didn't find his worth in like identity then. So yeah, he did tweet that.
That was actually one of my tweets.
Andy's.
One of my stupid tweets.
Scheiße, Ute Ostia, Ficken Geiden Drittenhausen. Okay.
But it's okay because you still have 2 tweets left. If you get these right, you are going to be a shoo-in to win this shirt that you help us make. Okay. Here we go. Clowney is really good. I told Ben Axelrod this when he was signed. He's thinking.
You know, I remember going over the first people he was following, so I'll say yes, it was him.
He does love Ben Axelrod, and yes, he did actually tweet that. He was pointing out how smart he was.
It's so arrogant. It's so fucking arrogant. Of course it was him.
All right.
You know what I said about Clowney when he first came, and I'll be honest about it. I mean, once you're on the Browns, I love you. I'll die for you. You know, I'll die for you. It's just that simple. Yeah. We go into battle, I'll die for you. I'll run on the field and fight all those Steelers, you know, back in the day when they would cheap shot Josh Cribbs over the middle and Mohamed Massaquoi. Fuck them. But, you know, now I just lost my train of thought. What was
there's another train coming. Just
okay. Let's go to the last one. Yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah.
Oh my God. Kevin, I want to go drinking with you immediately.
Fuck yeah. All
right. Here we go.
By the way, ladies out there, I've recently broken up with a beautiful girl who's very nice. So I am single. I am 6'4".
Hey.
I've been known as a
was she half Irish, half Italian?
She was actually 100% Irish. She actually grew up 7 miles away from me in the town of Ballycourt.
What is this?
It was like a perfect match. So I just want to put out there that I am 6'4". I can pick up both men and women over my head, and I can throw them. I have been known to do that before. So anyone that's out there,
I don't know who
message
you
me,
think
Kevin
is
Lick
watching this
Anderson,
podcast.
yeah.
Let me
Ladies.
just give you a clue. Nobody is watching this podcast.
Hey,
Right
ladies, go ahead and send your information to idate at Dawg,
You know
Irish
what? You
date
don't have
at
to.
Dawg Chug.
You don't have to. Either way, I'll find you. So
All right. Well, here we go. We're on the last question. If you get this right, you are in the running for the shirt. If you get it wrong, then we might have one bonus question for you. So here we go. You have a pretty good chance of winning, is what I'm saying. If we make the playoffs, it will not be because of Baker. It'll be despite him. They showed up. He did not. I no longer believe in him. Did Chops tweet that or did Chops not tweet that?
I mean, it could be a trick, but that is exactly exactly what he would say. That would sound like it was like after the Christmas game. Oh, I'm gonna throw a curveball and say he did not say that. Final answer.
I wasn't even going to say that it was you. I didn't want. I was
Roger.
just thinking that was someone
God
from our
bless.
show. That Roger just pointed out that was him. You won. Congratulations. That was amazing. Jessica is wondering why she's still watching because this is
She's the only one watching.
Yeah, well, it's fine. The point is, we have one bonus question, and let's see if you can get this one right. Let's see if you needed to get that one right, because if you had screwed that one up, you would have needed to get the bonus question right. So let's just see. The
Oh,
bonus.
by the way, afterwards, to that person that's still watching, I actually have a new chant for the Dog Pound as a member of the Muni Lot Browns Packers. But let's do the bonus question.
All right, let's do the bonus question. My team just won their first playoff game. Baker is the chosen one. Was that Chops or was that not Chops?
That's him.
That was actually you. That was one of your tweets.
It's a bonus question. It's fine. That's right. It's a reference to Semi-Pro. Oh, please. My mother wouldn't lie in my dreams. She's chosen one. Heaven wants us to win this game. I'll burn your house down. The referee's like, what?
That was one of your tweets. Oh my God. I'm having a good time tonight. Kevin, this has been amazing. I love that we became part of the chat where we all got to get to know each other. You're fantastic. I better bring Ross and Ed
Thank
in
you
here.
so much. I really appreciate it. Great hat, Ross, by the way. Oh, Eddie. Cousin Eddie.
Hey, top of the morning going to be here soon.
We don't say that. So
I think he's just pointing that this show's gone a little long, but that's okay.
That's good. Good stuff.
No one's watching anyway, right?
Right.
I mean,
I wasn't either. So.
Jessica's still watching, but yeah,
Except for poor Jessica, she's the only one.
I bet if we could pull up her camera, she's not even in the room.
Right.
Oh, believe me, tomorrow you guys should see. Once I share this, you'll get the Big Kevin Sports bonus effect. You'll get 7 5-stars. I mean, we got a big Kevin army. You guys will see. This will be well worth it. So if you're not watching right now, piss off.
Jessica confirming that she is still watching, which
good. I don't want no
super fan she is.
She's reading a book.
Hey,
She's got like a novel.
Can confirm.
I don't want no
confirm.
armies
still have
coming
one
after
viewer.
you, Jessica. I don't want no armies coming after Jessica. I'm glad it's still her.
She is playing World of Warcraft, though.
Okay. Good luck. Good luck.
All right. Well,
Oh,
anyway,
wow. Whip them out Wednesday. Opie and Anthony. There we go. Salute.
I know this hasn't been one of our best shows, but this has been one of my favorite shows. Kevin,
What?
you have been hilarious. I mean, I love everything about you being on the show. It's amazing. I can't wait till we fire Ed and replace you with.
I know that I heard
Right.
that got brought up, and I just I got too tired. I didn't even want to bring it up till next week. I won't forget.
It's best for your mental health, Ed.
I'm surprised, actually, you guys with the Dawg Chug podcast to go into politics. I remember one time that I was talking about it, and I got side punch right in my eye and broke my orbital wall, and I picked him up and threw him over my fence in college when I was in my football shape. So I didn't know Americans talked about politics, but you guys to stick your neck out there, salute you.
Okay. I
Kevin,
Mostly just Donald Trump gifts.
Roger.
made it.
I will say one thing. I do hope the audience does know what Ross and I did. It was a bit. It was a skit. It really wasn't exactly meant to be crossfire or anything like that. So I hope they enjoyed it in a satirical way. And
Not
Ross was
breaking
great.
the fourth wall, Ed.
Ed, do you understand the irony in you saying the chief being anti Cleveland and we had to change our name to you being in Christopher Columbus's city? You understand the irony in that?
Oh, I don't see, but but it comes down to it. Look, I honor the past. I don't think the name offended anything.
Hey,
But I also
No.
want to say
You didn't
this.
offend,
I
you
love
did
the
great.
audience.
We're gonna end this one because this is gonna be fun for the after hours. So, Kevin, thank you so much. Ross and Ed, you guys were amazing tonight. Roger, we got to come up with another funny phone bit. We're just gonna work on it.
I got something in the works.
Oh,
Hey,
I love it.
Kevin, I wrote something for you. Made a
Yes,
dog
sir.
chug, made a dog chug shine upon you. Your face made a beer fall soft into your mug. And until we meet again, may the Cleveland Browns hold the Vince Lombardi trophy in their hands.
Very nicely
God
put.
bless you, Roger. Hey,
That's
let's end this
amazing.
with one chant. When I point, you guys say, "We are the Paul Brown boys."
Okay.
Hello, hello,
We are the Paul Brown boys.
hello, hello.
We are the
Paul
Paul
Brown
boys.
boys.
And if you're a Steeler fan, surrender all your die. We all follow the Brownies. Hello, hello,
We
are
are
the
the
Brown
Paul
boys.
Brown
hello,
boys.
hello.
We are the
Paul
Paul
Brown
Brown
boys.
boys.
And if you're a Raven, surrender all your die. We all follow the Brownies.
That's
All
beautiful.
right, that was amazing.
That's a great way to end.
Andy, what are you? What are you, Andy?
I just want to say to Chops, we're obviously obsessed with you, and we're giving you so much attention because what you're doing is great. So good for you. Keep it up.
Yeah, Chops,
Love
you're
it.
great. I understand your persona and everything you're about. So I'll find you.
Yeah. All right.
Andy's a Paul Brown boy. That was the